the chef?
Oliver.
Oh, great. I love burnt hot dogs.
Hey, bye. Bye, see you later.
Hey, Doc, how the hell are you? Heading over to school fair?
No, I gotta go to Butler County today. Making rounds to the hospital.
Come on, you gotta try out this muscle machine I made. Show everybody how strong you are.
I don't know. I should probably just sit down in the shade and watch you young guys do it.
Lucky you wasn't in town today, Doc.
What's going on here?
Nobody knows nothing. Not even that Fed doctor down there. She brought this whole circus with her, and they ain't got a clue.
There's a lot of pregnancies. I mean, a lot. Much more than would normally be expected. All the pregnancies seem to date from the day of the blackout.
Oh, no. David. You can spell your name.
It is now of interest to national security that we continue to carefully monitor their developing powers. The children are beginning to interact more with the general community. There have been a few casualties. I should say accidents, suicides, that might be related to contact with the children.
It's getting dangerous. The other children can't learn. I was thinking maybe you could teach them. They seem to respect you.
Respect? No, they don't even know the meaning of that word.
They have one mind that they share between them.
The children did it. I know they did it. Who are they?
Common genetic characteristics, almost as if they're siblings from the same parent.
It was the children.
You're hiding something. You can't stop us here. Don't try.
What are you gonna do?
The only thing that we can do.
Village of the Damned, directed by John Carpenter. The film was released on 28th of April 1995. With a budget of $22 million, it only retained $9.4 million back from the box office and was a financial failure. Reviews at the time were negative, suggesting Carpenter wasn't completely invested in the project and his flair is lacking in the end product. Village of the Damned, like most of Carpenter's films, has a small but loyal following and is appreciated more over the years. The film is about a small American village called Midwich, where all the residents suffer a mass blackout. Police and government officials are baffled by the incident, and soon after 10 women in the village discover they are pregnant, and all seem to date back to the day of the blackout. The community of Midwich are naturally concerned about the pregnancies. The government has offered to pay the prenatal expenses as long as they can do testing on the children as they grow. All the babies are born the same time, same night. As the children grow, they start to show signs of being highly intelligent, with no emotions, and start to develop unnatural powers. Local Dr. Alan Shafi, with Dr. Susan Vernon, an epidemiologist working for the government, tried to understand the children's abilities, but like the rest of the village, are helpless as the children cause accidents, death and destruction when hurt or threatened. Village of the Damned is a remake of the 1960 sci-fi horror film of the same name. Like the original, it is also based on the novel The Midwich Cuckoos, written by John Wyndham in 1957. In 1964 saw the release of its sequel, Children of the Damned, but was not hailed as popular and as successful as its predecessor. I enjoyed the original, but at only 77 minutes running time, it felt a little rushed, so the pacing suffered. It's as though parts were cut out that could have fleshed it out more, and that would have helped with the timing, pacing, and the character development. The acting was fine from all the cast, the children were effective, and a little unsettling. The visual effects of the children's eyes were very creepy. My main issue was how the film's perspective was seen too much of the man's point of view. Now, whether this was the same in the book, I couldn't say at this point. I can only come to the conclusion that it's a product of its time, when films were dominated by men compared to when the remake was made, and today in the film industry.
Well, it's in fact exactly 35 years to the month that we made the original Village of the Damned in England. We shot it in October, November 1959. So that's 35 years exactly. A long time ago. The original Village of the Damned seems to have been shown for years and years and years, and still keeps repeating from time to time. So it must have touched some kind of chord in people. And I think the same chord should be struck by this one.
I'll start with the negatives. It's one of John Carpenter's weaker entries. It doesn't have much suspense, sadly, and there are no real creepy moments compared to the original film. On some viewings, it looks like a relatively high-budget TV movie, and others, it's a medium-budget cinema release. Depends on how I look at it at the time, and how scrutinised I'm being as well. With the positives, Carpenter showed visual flair with action sequences and some lovely-looking wide-angle shots spread throughout the film, which gives a more expensive look and feel to the film. ILM, Industrial Light and Magic, were brought on to help with the special effects to do with the children's eyes, and they were done to such great effect.
With any movie, there's always a delicate balance in terms of the design of the effects. And when you're working with a visual effects house, you have to sort of complement each other. And in the final sequence, there was a moment where we had built 3 different puppets, and it was this moment where the kids sort of start to show their true selves, and you see their skulls start to glow and all this anatomy underneath. And we had built 3 different animatronic puppet heads that the neck could elongate and the lobes and the head would expand. And we painted them blue with all this cool black veining, and we took them to ILM and we shot plates of everything working, and then ILM inverted the footage so that everything looked like this yellow black glow, and then they comped all that stuff onto the real kids' heads.
Carpenter's direction is great, always getting the best performances from the actors. Reeve is very good as Alan Chaffee. He shows more range and emotion than in most of his other films I've seen. Linda Kozlowski as Jill McGowan, the head teacher at the village school, shows she is quite a versatile actor. Kirsty as Susan Werner is fine, and this is one of her more serious roles compared to some of the others she has done. Children are fantastic. Their performances are so on point, showing no emotion, non-human you could say. Performances from Lindsay Horn as Mara and Thomas Dekker as David are great. They shine in every single scene they are in. Did I enjoy Village of the Damned? Yes, not as much as Carpenter's previous work, like They Live, Halloween, The Thing, and Big Trouble in Little China, to name some. The performances from the main cast, Carpenter's direction, and the special effects are what give the film its weight. Village was just lacking some finishing touches in the script. Extended or added scenes might have enhanced the experience of the film more. Apparently the studios were very controlling, and restricted Carpenter to fully bring his vision to the screen. A big shame, as John Carpenter is a very talented man, and given the freedom, time and money, he can make something really special.
Well, when I look back on Village of the Damned, I'm really happy with it. There are a lot of things I would have done differently had we had a bit more money and a bit more time. But no, I'm pretty happy with it. I think Chris Reeve gives a really strong performance in the movie, and I'm very happy for that.
I remember watching the movie and feeling that I had wanted it to have a little more punch to it. I know what we were going for out of the gate, and I think we got a good part of the way there, but I think there's still a great story there, and I think John had a great vision for it, but John struggled with the studio quite a bit, and I think that struggle ended up hurting the movie.
You know, I would have been happy with it if they'd given John the time to actually give them his movie. I think they stole it from him, and in the process stole the product and hurt themselves big time.
I remember after seeing the film thinking, they're not even going to care about certain characters because those scenes were taken away. That was the biggest impact it had. I went, it doesn't mean anything anymore. You know, why would you even care about these people?
I mean, when it came out, it was critically panned. It was was not a big success financially, by any means. And yet, I have not met a single person from the two most recent generations that doesn't know the movie.
It's cool to be a part of something that has this kind of like cult following. I think there's a lot of fans out there that support it, and I think it's neat to be a part of that history.